that what's important is to think about what is it that patients need. And so we know that there are a number of folks who are interested in taking care of patients, and that, obviously healthcare providers are playing a role, health plans are playing a role, and I think that we all need to think about how we can play a role in helping patients get to the outcomes that really matter most to them.
In Leo, we strongly believe that when we focus on people, the business will follow. And that means for us as a company that there are cases where we know that we can actually meet this unmet need by the patients, but we are unable to make the business case. This is actually, I think, where push comes to show. This is where we have to demonstrate that this is not words, it's actually actions. So if we are able to meet the need, the unmet need, even though we cannot make the business case, we will do it anyway.
One key elements, I think, of patient centricity is to ensure we have not only a patient-centric approach, but we take also consideration about the healthcare ecosystem, because the patient is not an isolated body. The patient is part of the healthcare ecosystem, together with the regulators, the payers, the policymakers, the healthcare professionals. So I think if we want to have a strong impact, we need not only to look at what we are doing for patients, but also which kind of activities we can have towards the entire ecosystems. Because by acting on some of these stakeholders, we can also provide direct or indirect benefits to patients. So I think one of the key elements is to think about not only the patient centricity, but the ecosystem-centric approaches. As an example, in 2013 we have provided support to a multi-stakeholder workshop in the UK aimed at enhancing, communicating about the huge unmet need regarding the bladder cancer in the UK. So we have put together all the key stakeholders so that we can eventually improve disease awareness and work together to improve the way we diagnose the disease and the way we treat the disease. So really putting the patients at the heart of this ecosystem.
We can still do much more. It's a journey, and I hope that we will get there. But I want to start with R&D, because R&D is very important in our company. And for us, it's very important to already start thinking about the patient first. In many cases, you start to think about what regulators want to get a drug approved. In our case, pain, it's a VAS, a score on the VAS. But that's not necessarily what's important to patient. Quite the opposite. They think about side effects, they think about how they can sleep. So that's where we have to start, and that's how we think about R&D in Grunenthal. I think it's the thinking, the mindset you want to start with the patient first before you do anything else.